Hello and welcome back to the Yes and YouTube channel. I am so excited to be back with you again this week. A quick review before we get started. 2 weeks ago, we talked about triggers. Triggers are the first part of the Yes and model. Triggers are our cues to align. Last week, we talked about roadblocks that prevent us from aligning with the information we gained from those triggers. This week, practices. Practices are some of my favorite parts of the Yes and model because this is the crux of coaching. I'll give you a little bit of overview of what that might look like in a coaching relationship and then also more broadly. And then also, of course, the outcomes that are related to each of these practices. So starting with this first part of the practices category in the Yes and model, initiation and grounded support. I actually touched on this briefly in last week's video because we were talking about roadblocks, which is a pretty heavy topic or can feel a little overwhelming. And so I wanted to bring this up right away, that grounded support is here for you right now as you're watching this video and in so many ways. Your mom or a friend or coffee or a dog. An initiation doesn't have to be the biggest thing ever. Initiation doesn't have to be hiring a coach. It can be. In my experience, that has expedited and really assisted me in this journey and in this cycle. And it's not essential. No matter what it looks like, that first initiation by you is what starts it all. Now, if you do initiate me or a coach as your support system, you reach out and say, I think I want someone to be with me on this journey. That's what I'm here for. It is my sole purpose when we are on a call together and anytime you message me between calls for me to be there for you and your growth only. With grounded support comes the opportunity for exploration. It is the process of looking at all the possibilities, shifting your perspective to see what else. It is yes and in practice. Let me give you an example of what exploration might look like. Let's say someone has a trigger. They say, I don't like living where I am. So what's possible? You could move. That's one thing. You could move cities. And what else? You could change just your home. Maybe it's just your house that you don't like. Maybe you're craving a vacation. You don't actually want to permanently leave your city, but you want to go somewhere for a period of time, short or long. That could be a possibility. What else? Watch a YouTube video and dream of what's possible to move in a year. You don't necessarily have to move right now. And maybe it has nothing to do with the neighbors or the city at all, and it's more something that you're feeling you're not satisfied with, and it's just taking the form of not liking the city at this time. So as you can see, there are so many possibilities and so many different perspectives once you start the exploration process. And this is endless. If you start this brainstorming process and one thing really calls out to you, that means that that's probably what's best for you, which leads us to experience. To go into one of those perspectives at a time, you can go through multiple, but taking each of them individually and trying it on. So example, let's say that I wanted to feel better about my body, and one of the perspectives I came up with was that I was going to start every day with a walk. What is it like to walk every morning? Do I like it? Do I hate it? Do I feel like I need a dog to join me on my walks to motivate me to do it? So it's all about being in the experiment, seeing how you feel about it, giving yourself a chance to experience it. But then if you feel like, this isn't resonating, this doesn't feel right, that's shifting. And then you get to, like I said at the beginning, go through the cycle again. What's another perspective that you already came up with? Another possibility that was already brainstormed, or maybe brainstorm a new list and then try on something else. With every one of these experiments and experiences, you learn more about yourself, you learn about what you like and what you don't like, what jives and what doesn't, and then you can use that data as we move forward. Once you've experienced and you've gained some insight into what your authentic self desires, we have to build trust with our authentic self. So in a way, this nourishment is tackling the roadblocks. It's coming up with some ammunition so that when we get a little scared or when we get a little doubtful of that authentic voice, even if it's true, even if we know in our hearts that that is what's best for us, we do need a little bit of support from ourselves and from external. That's where I come in handy. So intake data that will help you reinforce to yourself that yes, you can trust your authentic self. That yes, that is what's best for me. So that when you're in a position again, you can say, oh, I remember this part. I was misaligned before, just like I am right now, and it felt really good to be in alignment. And in between there, it was a little scary, but I remember hearing the voice, and that's the voice that I'm kind of hearing in the background now. So I'm going to listen to that voice, and then you do, and then again you experience the benefits of alignment. It's this constant cycle and this strength training regimen, in a sense, with our authentic self. And the last part of the Yes and Model Practices journey is alignment. Aligning with what you have discovered is best for you. Alignment looks like a lot of different things. It can be small. It can be what I'm doing this week. I'm going to wake up at the same time every day because I remember that that is what's best for me. It can be big. I'm going to leave my job. And that probably, the bigger ones, may take a little bit more nourishment, a little bit more exploration to really make sure that that alignment is right, because sometimes it's a little scary. Go back to roadblocks. It can be a little scary to follow the trigger and to align. Alignment can be changing your spending habits to align with what you just realized is true to you. So I actually don't want the car or the big house or something large, I don't know, a big investment. And so I'm gonna change my focus a little bit, because I was saving all this money for this car. Instead, I'm gonna donate half of it to this cause, and I'm gonna do something else, buy a dog. Aligning could be hiring a coach. It could be hiring another coach. So I have 2 coaches because I have my business coach and my life coach. Hiring a different coach, one that is more aligned with what you're currently experiencing. This is a cyclical pattern. So once you align, you go through the process again. You lean into your support system again, or you just feel supported in that process. You explore what's possible now. Maybe a different trigger came up. Maybe a new roadblock is coming up. Maybe you're feeling really inspired. And so you explore what's possible now that I'm in alignment. I'm gonna go back to this exploration phase, see what else I can do, try it on, experience, nourish what it feels like to try on what's best for me, and then align in an even bigger way and fully express my authentic self. Next week, fully experience my full authentic life that's to come. It is so beautiful to witness when I'm the coach. It's so amazing to experience when I'm the client. And for you, what is it gonna look like? This week, what are we gonna do to help you get through this process once? Just do one mini session. It could be right now. You could pause this, you can journal, and go through this one time. Explore, experience, nourish, align, express your authentic self. And you've already initiated support because I'm here talking to you right now. This is a version of support. Next step, exploration. Explore all the different possibilities of whatever's on your mind. With that information, experience. Pick one, take your best guess. Pick one, try it on. What does that feel like? Either just in this moment, visualizing this, meditating on it, or maybe you say, okay, for the next week, for the next 24 hours even, I'm gonna try this on and see what it feels like. Then you're gonna nourish what felt best for you, and then align. Choose something to commit to. If you want an accountability buddy, you can message me or comment below. We can all be your accountability buddies. And then align with what's best for you, stick to it, and experience what it is to fully express yourself. Please feel free to comment below, share a little insight, a word or two to summarize what your experience was. If you want even more, send me a message on any of my platforms and we can go through this together. Next week, the last part of my mini Yes and Model series, the Gold Star. I'm so excited to talk about where this all goes, where the Yes and vision is totally epitomized. Is that a word? So excited, so much more to come. I hope to see you soon. Now that I have a new intro, I feel like I need an outro. Like a little ending. Boop. Bye.